Good morning, everyone. So in this class, we are going to discuss about conditional statements. Conditional statements. So first, we need to understand. So what is conditional statements? Okay. What is conditional statements? So here, coming to conditional statements. So the name itself, it is there. Condition. So based on condition, we are going to discuss, like we are going to define whether it is a true or false. Suppose if the student got marks like, okay, suppose 40 marks. So in order to evaluate the marks, we are going to use some conditions, like whether if condition is if the student marks is greater than or equal to 35, it's fail. So if we are getting there is less than 35, the student is fail. Greater than 35, it's a pass. So something will be like that. Okay. So there are a lot of conditions we can. So in our real life also, in day to day, we are going to the bank. Okay, we are going to a bank. Suppose there is some amount. In most of the banks, so nowadays, if the amount is less than less than 5,000, so what they are doing? So they are adding some extra charges or something. Okay, in all the banks. So in order to maintain this accounts in a savings or current, we need to maintain some minimum balance. So how they are going to decide? So based on conditional statements. Okay. So here we have conditional statements like, okay, we have a if, it's called simple if else, nested if else. Next thing is evaluate here. Okay. We are going to see one by one. So what is simple if? So when we are going to use simple if, what is if else? When we are going to use if else? Okay. What is the use of nested if else and what is the use of evaluate? Okay. We are going to see one by one. So first one is simple if. So what is simple if? So it's like if there is only if there is only if there is only one if statement, one if statement. Okay. If there is only one if statement in our program, we are going to call it as simple if. So what is the syntax? If the condition, suppose, what is the condition? I want to evaluate marks greater than or equal to 35, then we need to perform some operations. Okay. Either I need to display, okay, display as a pass. So that's it. There is no else conditions. There is no else here. So this is called simple if. Suppose if the marks, suppose if the marks equal to 50, marks equal to 50. So what will happen? So the if 50 greater than or equal to 35, yes, the condition is true. It will display as a pass. Okay, good. So I'm going to keep it as a marks equal to 20, marks equal to 20. So in this case, what will happen? In this case, what will happen? 20 greater than or equal to 35. Is it true? No. If it is true, then only this block of statement will get executed. Otherwise, it won't execute this block of statements. So that's why if else concept came into the picture. Okay, if else concept came into the picture. So here I want to know not only pass, I want to know the student fail also. Okay, so then only the user or customer can understand clearly. So based on our input. Okay, just you can assume this one. So here else display fail. So finally we are going to write end if. So this is for if else. See, this is similar to if only. This is similar to if only, but here we are using else statements. So if we use only if statement, what will happen? Whenever the condition is true, then only this block of statement will get executed. This block of statement will execute. But I want to know fail case also, else case. Suppose the marks equal to 20, what will happen here? Okay, so it won't get display anything because we are not writing any else statement here in 15th and 16th and 17th line. 1 minute. So just observe here. If I give marks equal to 20, 20 greater than or equal to 35, no, condition is false. So the user won't get any message. So that is the reason else concept came into the picture. If 20 greater than or equal to 35, is this condition is true? No. So in that case, it will come to else part display fail. Again, we are going to close as a end if. So this is the major difference between simple if and if else. Sometimes we are going to use only simple if we are not going to validate any further statements. Sometimes we are going to use if else, so that is based on our requirement. Okay, this is a major difference, simple if and if else. Okay, fine. Next, what is nested if? Nested if else. What is nested if else? If there are two or more if else statements is available, we are going to call it as nested if else. See, the name itself, it is there, nested if else. Okay, if there are two or more if else statements, if you are going to write, we are going to call it as nested if else. So here, in which case we are going to use nested if else? In which case we are going to use nested if else? Let's understand the situation. So I have a day, the day number. So this can be anything, 1, 2, 3, or up to 7. So if it is 1, I need to print as a Monday, 2, Tuesday, 3, Wednesday. It's like if it is 7, I need to print as like it's in a Sunday. Okay, let me write a pseudocode for this one. Okay, so what we need to do? So it's like if else only, but if there are two or more if else statements, then we are going to call it as nested if else. That's it. If suppose there is a variable day, if day equal to 1, so what we need to print? Display Monday. Okay, else again you need to validate rest of the numbers. So here we are not going to validate only one case. Okay. So there are so many cases, like either it could be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. So that case, what you need to do, if day equal to 2, display Tuesday. Next again, else if day equal to 3, display Wednesday. So like this we are going to write. So finally we are going to write else condition for 7 display Sunday. Okay, there is a problem here. Suppose in order to give 1 to 7, what will happen is I'm going to give 9 or 10. So in that case, what we need to do, you need to evaluate, like we need to perform else condition here. Else display you have entered incorrect number or invalid number. Okay. Okay, let's try to understand this one. Let's try to understand. Yeah, in some cases, so how many ifs are opened here? So those many ifs, we need to close it. Sometimes if you don't close also it will work, but the recommendation is like so how many ifs are open, then you need to close those many ifs here. End if. Finally, okay, try to understand this one. Nested if else, if there are 2 or more if else statements is available, we are going to call it as nested if else statement. So the scenario is like, if the day numbers were there 1 to 7, according to the numbers I need to print. Okay, I need to print. So whether if the day equal to 1, I need to print as Monday, day equal to 2 as Tuesday, 3 Wednesday, 7 is Sunday. If the user is not given 1 to 7 numbers, you need to tell them like, okay, you have entered invalid number. Okay. So in this case, so how it will work? So you can assume. So the user has given d equal to 7. So first what it will do, it will check this condition. If day equal to 1, yes, no. It will come to the else part. Else again it will check. If day equal to 2, no. Again it will come to the else part. If day equal to 3, 7 equal to 3, no. Again it will check the rest of the conditions. Finally it will come to else if day equal to 7. 7 equal to 7, correct. So in this case, it will get displayed as a Sunday. So how it is working? So it is checking each and every condition until the condition is satisfied. If this condition is satisfied, it will come out of this 51 line. It won't execute rest of the statements. So until and unless if the condition is true, it will check the previous conditions one by one. Okay. Next, we have an evaluate. So what is the use of evaluate? So the name itself, it is there. Evaluate is like, okay, you need to perform some actions. So these everything, these four, simple if else, nested if else, evaluate. These four are conditional statements. So these are very, very important. So you might have studied in our college level also, but this is a bit different, like the syntax wise. Okay, syntax wise. So in Java and C++, we are going to use as a switch instead of switch statement. Here we have an evaluate statement. That's it. Yeah, we are going to see. So what is the evaluate and what is the use of this one? So evaluate is similar to nested if else. Okay, nested if else statement. It is similar to nested if else statement. Okay, if it is similar to nested if else statement, why we are going to use evaluate? So what is the use of this one? Okay, it is similar to nested if else statement. First it will evaluate the condition or expression. It will evaluate the condition or expression based on condition directly it will go to the particular statement. So this is very, very important interview question also. So what is the difference between nested if else and evaluate? Just listen carefully. If it is nested if else, it will try to execute one by one, like the conditions, like one by one, until the condition is satisfies. But in evaluate, it is not like that. Directly it will go to the particular condition. So how it will go? Okay, just we will see here. So the syntax is evaluate day. So this is the expression. So day, we are going to evaluate it. Here, when day one, okay, when day one, in day one, what we are going to do? Display Monday. When day two, we should display as a Tuesday. When day three, Wednesday. Like this, we are going to write all our conditions here. Finally, when 7, display Sunday. Okay, the same thing. So if the user is trying to give the day is 9 or 10, more than 7, like, okay, more than 7, in that case, we are going to give as when other display invalid number entered. Please enter only in between 1 to 7. So finally, we need to close end evaluate. Okay, just observe here. Just observe here. If the day equal to, suppose the user has given day equal to 3, day equal to 3. If the user has given day equal to 3, what will happen? What will happen? It will evaluate day. So what is there in day? It's there 3. So it won't check any these conditions when 1, 2 or something like this. So directly it will come to 75th line, 75th line, and it will execute this statement. So this is the advantage. It's like performance wise also. So compared to nested if else, evaluate is very fast. And also the code, if you observe the code also, so no need to write multiple conditions. If else, else if, something will be like this. So what we are going to do is, so just we are going to evaluate the condition and we are going to write when conditions here. Based on when conditions, the program directly, it will go to the particular statement and it will execute that. Suppose the user has given 9. It will evaluate the condition. Evaluate. Day is 9. Okay. Whether 9 is here? No. What it will do? Directly it will go to when other, and it will print the invalid number entered. Please enter only 1 to 7. So like this, it will work. Most of the cases, we don't use nested if else statements. We are going to use, instead of nested if else, we are going to use evaluate. In our real-time work also, we are going to use simple if else, and evaluate statements. So this is about the theory. So now you have a clear idea on this. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. See, first try to understand the concepts. That's it. See, the coding is very simple, but we have to understand. Okay. So what will happen if you use only simple if? What will happen if you use if else statements? What is the use of nested if, and how evaluate is going to work? Okay. So these are the basic things. Okay. We need to understand. So you will get the code from Google. So that is for damn sure. Okay. But you need to know when to use if else, and when to use evaluate. That's it. We are going to give the instructions to computer. Okay. We are going to give the instructions to computer. That's it. Based on our instructions only, computer can perform our actions. Okay, fine. Let's enter into the coding part. So in order to practice, just type Cobol online compiler. So this is the website, www.jdoodle.com. It's an online compiler. So in order to write Cobol program, so the division, so what is the mandatory division? So it's like identification division with the program ID. Is mandatory. Next, where we are going to declare our variables, data division under working storage section. Okay, I'm going to declare WS marks. Okay, WS marks. Pick 9 of 2. Pick 9 of 2. Okay. Just give one tab here, display. Just write program started, program started. Just try to execute this one. Just try to execute this one. Yeah, now the code is working. So what you need to do, so while writing the code also, write 1 or 2 lines and execute it so that you can able to understand like where the errors are coming and what is the mistake you have done it. Suppose sometimes, unfortunately, the display I have given as like this. Display I have given as like this. It won't get executed. See, unknown statement display. It will show like this. Okay. Display. Program started. Okay, fine. We need to perform simple if. In order to perform simple if, see, you can write everything in a procedure division itself, inside the procedure division and stop run. But I'm going to write it in a paragraphs. What is the use of paragraphs? So you can understand easily, and whenever it is required, you can execute the program. It's like a reusability of the program. Okay. Uh, Student. So I'm going to write it as 5000 student para, starting and ending. So starting, there is one dot, and ending, there is one dot. So inside this, I'm going to write a logic. So what is the logic we need to build? Okay. If WS marks, WS marks greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to 35, then greater than or equal to 35, then perform some actions. Display, display. Student got pass marks. Okay. I'm going to close it as end if here. So in order to perform this paragraph, so how to call it? Okay, I'm trying to execute this one. See, program started only, it got printed in our console. Why this code is not executable? Because procedure division and inside the stop run, we have only one statement that is called display. So how to execute or how to call this paragraph? So we need to use perform or go to. Perform or go to. So you can use go to statements also. Okay. First I will try with the perform. Okay. Perform 5000 student para. So what it will happen? It will come to 5000 para and it will execute these lines. And again, it will go back to this paragraph, 10th line. Okay. And finally, it will exit the program. Okay. Just try to execute now. Okay. Why it is not printing anything? Because we are not moving any value to the marks. We are not moving any value to the marks. So what you need to do? Move 50 to WS marks. So now what is there in marks? 50. It will come to this paragraph. It will check 50 greater than or equal to 35. Yes. It will print the student got pass marks. Student got pass marks. See, here you can write anything. See, instead of going to give greater than or equal to, I have given less than or equal to. See, computer doesn't know anything. So based on our instructions only, it will work. You have to tell, hey, computer, just perform these actions. Okay. I'm trying to execute now. So what is the mistake you have done? You have to understand. you need to analyze. You need to analyze your code. You need to analyze your code. You should not tell, okay, I have given marks 50 equal to WS marks, but I'm not getting this display. So there is some mistake you have done it. There is some mistake while giving the instructions. Okay. So that's why you need to analyze. So analyzing the skills is very, very important. What is happening? What is happening? In our real time also, no need to build entire program. So there is already, they have built it. You need to identify there are some bugs. Okay. What is defect or bug? Okay. So that we are going to talk about these things and all later. Anyway, this is one issue. This is one issue. You are giving 50 marks, but you have written the logic as student got pass marks. But why it is not happening? So you need to come from starting. Okay, program started, move 50, perform 500 student para. Okay, inside the student para, what is there? If condition is there, 50 less than or equal to 35. 50 less than or equal to 35. Is it true? No, the condition itself it is wrong. The condition itself it is wrong for this display. Okay, in that case, what you need to do? You need to correct it greater than or equal to 35. Okay, fine. This is called simple if. If the condition is true, student got pass. If the condition is fail, suppose if the condition is fail, the condition is fail, we are not printing anything. Just observe here. Why we are not printing anything? 20 greater than or equal to 35? No. It will come out of this if there is no statements after this if statement. There is no statements after this if. Okay. So that's why I already told you, right? Else statement came into the picture. If it is true, display this one, else display this one. Okay. So what is the logic? We need to add it here. Okay. If, else. Okay. If, else. If the condition is true, execute first block of statement. Otherwise, go to else statement. Go to else statement. See, whatever we are going to write it in a double quotes, the same thing will get print in a console. You can write anything in double quotes in a display. Okay. See, student got fail marks. Okay, I want to know how many marks student got. Okay. So in order to print marks also, so what you need to do? Just add that variable after double quotes. After double quotes. Just observe here. Student got fail marks. In double quotes, you can write, this is your wish. But in order to print the input value, we should not keep the value in a double quotes. See here, student got fail marks 20. So if you want to write in a meaningful way, you can write it. Okay. Student got 20 marks. Okay. WS marks. So that's why it is showing as fail. You can write it anything. Okay. This is the concept. Okay. This is the concept. Okay, fine. Now we are going to discuss nested if else. The same thing. I'll take the input as a day and we are going to see now. Okay, I'm going to write 6,000 days para. So in order to take an input WS day, okay, WS day, pick 9 of 2. So I'm going to assign the value here itself. Directly, I'm going to assign value is 5. So there are two ways. You already know how to assign the value to a variable. So there is by using value and by using move, by using most. Okay, fine. 6000 base pair. If WS day equal to 1, then what we are going to print? Display Monday. Again, else if WS day equal to 2, then display Tuesday. So what I'm going to do here, just copy paste this one. So you can write it as many you want. Okay. Yes, just copy paste the code. So you need to know first how to write first 2 lines of code. That's it. See, if there are multiple conditions, what we are going to do? Just we are doing copy paste. That's it. If it is day equal to 1, what we are going to print it as Monday. Else if again day equal to 2, Tuesday. Else if day equal to 3, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. So if it is a 5, if it is a 5, Friday. If it is 6, Saturday. If it is 7, if it is 7, Sunday. Okay, we need to write there is one more condition. If the user has entered more than 1 to 7. So always we need to think that error part also. Okay, else. So apart from these conditions, there is one exceptional scenario. Suppose if the user has given 9 or 10 or 11 or 20, so you need to put one display, or we need to write some other logic here. Display invalid number entered. Okay. Now we need to close end ifs here. So how many ifs are present? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, just try to execute the program now. So it is not executing because we are not calling this paragraph 6000 days para. So in order to call this paragraph, so this time I'm going to use go to. Okay, go to. So the name itself it is there. Go to. Okay, go to this paragraph. So we are telling like, okay, go to this paragraph and perform these actions. See here, So Friday, so it's printing as Friday, FRI. So why it is printing as FRI? So we need to understand again, go back. It is Friday. Okay. If the day equal to 5, so that is the reason it is printing as a Friday. So we have to analyze like this. Okay. You have to analyze like this. Okay. What is WS day? Okay. Yeah. WS day as declared here, and the value we have given as 5. Okay. Instead of 5, I'm going to give it as 9. Just try to execute now. Invalid number entered. So why it is printing invalid number entered? So value is 9. First it will check one by one conditions. Okay. Whether it equal day 1, day 2, day 3, 5, 6, 7. So it's not find in any of these cases. So that's why it is going to in else part. It's like head and trial, like true or false. If the condition is true, execute particular statement. If the condition is false, execute another statement. Yeah, that's it. Okay. This is about nested if else. Okay. The next very important thing, what is evaluate? What is evaluate? It is similar to nested if else statement, but first it will evaluate the condition based on your expression, and the based on your expression directly it will go to the particular statement compared to nested if. It is very fast. It is very fast. Okay. Let's try to write the code for this one also. So here itself I'm going to write, okay, there is 9,000 so you can write anything by using paragraph names, but should be in some naming convention. That's it. Okay, this is this para 9,000. But while writing the paragraphs, the name should be in unique. See, here I have given 9,000 days para. So here I have given 6,000 days para. So we should not keep here also 9,000 and here also 9,000. So there should be at least one character change. Okay. What is the syntax? What is the syntax for evaluate? Evaluate WS day and evaluate. So this is common. Next, what you need to do? When one display Monday, when two display Tuesday, copy these lines. Just do copy paste. Okay, when one Monday, when two Tuesday, when three Wednesday 4 5 when 6 when 7. See here, see here. Is it mandatory to keep when other? No. Is it mandatory to keep when other? We'll try to execute this one without when other. We'll see. So this is how you need to practice while practicing also. So if you don't keep when other, what will happen? If you keep when other, what are things it will come? Like this, you need to practice. Okay. Here I'm going to keep on display whether we have entered into this paragraph or not. This para. Okay, fine. Let's try to execute this one. Let's try to execute this one. Unknown statement display. Okay. There is a send display. Yeah, just try to execute this one. See, we are not able to see this display because we are not calling 9000 days paragraph. So in order to perform this paragraph, there is a keyword perform 9000 days para. So okay, so what it will do? First it will execute this one, then 10th line, next 11th perform 5000 student para. It will go to the corresponding paragraph and it will come back again. Again, it's a 6000 days paragraph. It will get executed. Finally, we are going to call this paragraph. See, this is your wish. If you don't want to execute these lines, you can remove it. Just try to execute this one. Invalid number. Okay. Invalid number. See why? Just observe here. Why this paragraph is not executing? Because we have given go to statement. We have given go to. So it will go to the 6000 paragraph and it won't come back. It won't come back. So that is the reason mostly we are not going to use this go to keyword. This go to keyword. So instead of go to, if we give perform, again what it will do? It will execute 6000 paragraph and again it will come back to this position. This position. The rest of the lines, whatever you have given, it will get executed. The same case, if we give go to, so whatever it is there after that go to, it won't get executed. So this is also one of the interview question only. Okay, what is the difference between go to and perform? Okay, try to execute this one. See here, now entered into 9000 days pair. Okay, fine. What is the value? What is the value of day? It's a 9. It will evaluate the condition. There is no when 9 because that is the reason it is not getting displayed. See, if we don't write whenever also it will work, but there are some error cases or exceptional cases. So that is the reason we are going to write whenever. If any of these conditions are not satisfied, you should go to whenever and tell them like, okay, hey, you have given invalid number. Invalid number. Please enter only 1 to 7. 1 to 7. Just try to execute this one. Just try to execute this one. See here, what it is telling? It is telling like invalid number, please enter only 1 to 7. So that's why. Again, I'm going to change. Instead of 9, I'm going to keep it as 5. So what it will do? Before going to execute, try to understand. It will come to this paragraph and it will evaluate. Okay, what is there in WSD? 5. Okay, good. 5. It will come directly when 5. When 5. Okay, when 5. And it will execute and it will print as a Friday. It will print as a Friday. See here, entered into 9,000 days para. So it got printed as Friday. It got printed as Friday. This is about evaluate. This is about evaluate. See, there is another way. There is another way. We can write this evaluate statement. Just observe here. Instead of 9,000, I'm going to keep it as 8,000. Okay, 8,000. So what is the another way? How we can write it? Just observe here. Evaluate. Instead of expression. So what we are going to do? We are going to give it as true. Evaluate true. Evaluate true. When 1 is here. So instead of going to give 1, we are using that variable WSDay equal to. So how we are going to use it in if condition? Okay, if condition. If day equal to 1, print this. Like this, evaluate true. And when variable and the value. See, both will give the same result only. So this is another way. This is another way. Instead of going to give only values, we can use variable name as well as value also. Just observe here. There is no change in our output. Okay. It will give the same result. This will also will give the same result, and this will also will give the same result. So what we are doing here, we are evaluating the expression or condition. Okay. It's like WSDay. So what is there in WSDay? So it is there 9, suppose 9. Here we are writing based on WSDay, we are writing the conditions when 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are. This is another way, evaluate true. So here itself, we are telling when the condition is true, just execute that statement. Otherwise, don't execute. That's it. Here it is not like that. Based on value, just execute the particular statement. Okay. So these are the two ways. These are the two ways we can write our code. And the very important thing here, suppose I forget to give some statements when 2 and 3, just I have written like this, when 2, 3 and 4. Okay. When 2, 3, 4. So what will happen in this case? So this is also very, very important. So what you are thinking, okay, there is no statements. If there is no statements, suppose the value I have given as 3. The value I have given as 3. What you are going to think is, okay, when 3, there is no displays. It won't print any values. But that is wrong, because whenever you are going to give multiple conditions like this, in evaluate when 2, 3, 4. After this statement, what is the statements are there? What are the statements it is available? It will execute it. Okay. Either if we give 2, 3, 4, it will print as a Thursday only. In order to print same value for multiple conditions, we are going to use this type of coding. When 2, either 3 or 4, instead of going to write, so there is another way you can write it. Display Thursday. I want to print it as 2 also Thursday, 3 also Thursday, 4 also Thursday. Okay. So instead of going to give the same value or same set of statements multiple times, we are going to use it as like this. Just try to execute now. See, I have given as input value as 3. But it got printed as Thursday. Okay, I'm going to give it as 2. Just execute now. See, if there is no statements in the sense, so it will see these 3 are single statement only. It's like the user has entered 2 or 3 or 4, it will display as a Thursday. So this is also very, very important thing. So the same scenario when it will occur. Okay, suppose you need to print vowels. Either you need to evaluate vowels or consonants. Okay, consonants. So in that case, when either A, E, I, O, U. So when A, E, I, O, U, you should print vowel. So otherwise consonants. So in this case, it will help us. Like instead of going to write multiple displays, what we are going to do when AEIOU, just we are keeping as one display given is vowel. So no need to write this statement for each and every when. No need to write like this. So after A, okay, go to this one. After E, go to this one. After I, go to this one. Okay, like this. Okay, no need to go like this. So instead of going to write the same condition, the same set of statement for multiple conditions, we are going to write it like this. So what it will do, either it is A or E or I or O, U. Okay. If anything, it will print this type of statement. So if it is when other, so other than this A, I, O, U, we have consonants only. Okay, we have consonants only. This is also very, very important for interviews. Sometimes they will ask. If we give when statement, and I'm not going to write any block of the code, what will happen? If I have given for when A, E, I, O, U, after this U, I have given as one display, what will happen? Okay. This and all while practicing, you will get to know. So you have to practice more. So if you practice, then only you can understand. While practicing only, you will get to know. Okay. What are the mistakes you are doing and how the program is working. See, just we are giving the instructions. So it's not a rocket science. So don't get confused. Okay. Okay, so there are 92 lines. Okay, how to read it or write it? So this is very simple. If you start coding, then you will get to know. So what are the insights it is there and where to copy paste it and where to. So at least practice for at least 1 or 2 hours per day. Okay, that's it from today's class. Thank you guys. So today's interview questions. So yesterday I have given 3 questions, I think. Today's interview questions. What is the difference between nested if else and evaluate? Next question is, what are the data types it's available in Cobol? And you need to practice. Today's class. Need to send snapshots in a group. Okay, this is for today's task.